What's up guys, I'm Tom. Welcome back to my channel. I got this 2019 Subaru Crosstrek behind me. The client called me up and he's only had the car for a couple weeks and it got a real bad scratch from the hood going to the fender. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. This scratch is actually pretty deep. I think it's through the clear coat in a couple spots, so it's not going to completely go away. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to wet sand it and knock down the edges of it and then polish that out and just try and mitigate how much you actually see it. So I'm going to set you guys up on the tripod and get to work, and when I'm all done I'll bring you in close and see how it looks. So first thing we're gonna do is actually just wipe the panel down with some O&R. I'm actually gonna be using that for my wet sanding as well. So there's no reason to dry this thing off yet. Interestingly enough, when I put my meter on there, on the hood, I'm getting readings of like 0.8 and 0.7. Which is a little concerning because that's really thin. I'm almost inclined to not believe the tool. I mean, it was in the 2s down on the fender. I just can't believe that the primer, the color, and the clear coat all combined are less than 1 mil on this hood. So I'm just gonna go real light with the wet sandpaper and hope that my gut is correct on this. So I got some 1500 grit here. Keep this nice and wet. And I'm actually going to go against the scratch to try and knock down the edges. You want to be careful too on ridge lines because you're going to be putting more pressure there. I'm not going to go too much more than that on the sandpaper. Really just trying to knock down. There's a couple high spots too that I could feel that were ridges there. So let's wipe this thing off. Alright, so that's what we have after the wet sanding. Definitely cut it down a little bit. I didn't go too crazy though, because again, measuring that paint being so thin, I'm not really going too crazy on there. So now we're going to go with some 105 on a microfiber cutting pad, and because I'm doing such a small area, I'm just going to use the Rupes Mini, because there's no reason to have a big pad going on this thing. that's after the first round with the 105. It's still a little hazy on these edges from the compound, so I need to go over it again one more time with the 105, and then we'll switch up to the polish. Alright, so here it is after the second round with the Meguiar's 105, and getting close you can really see how deep the scratch actually is, and now that I've gone over it I can definitely tell that it's totally through the clear coat in a couple spots, and the spots that it isn't through the clear coat, come on focus, come on. And the spots that it's not through the clear coat, it's still really deep. So I'm going to go with the 205 now and polish it up, and hopefully it'll kind of help out a little bit. That's where it's all the way through the clear coat right there, and then again up here. And like I was saying before, even where it's not all the way through the clear coat, that's probably 90% through. So yeah, really not much else to be done with that, unfortunately. So the last thing I'm going to do here is put a little bit of Jescar power lock on there, and hopefully with a little bit of filling it'll kind of help hide it, but I don't think there's really much hiding this. So I'm gonna let this dry, and I'll be back with you guys in a minute. Now, unfortunately, my before and after kind of got a little messed up because I started in the shade and now we got sun going on there, but I don't know, it's hard to tell really if it made that much of a difference. And you can see in the sun right there though, we definitely got a swirl free finish on there, and the paint is butter smooth. But unfortunately, I'm going to be telling this guy that he's going to have to go see a body shop if he wants to get rid of this, and that really stinks on a 2019 with 6,000 miles on it. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. And now I'm going to go break the news to this client.